Um, what I want you to know is always trust yourself, like whatever it is. And I was sitting here this morning, well, actually, when I was walking out down the hallway, I thought, okay, I need to get a Wayne Dyer book out today. So I thought, okay, and it was just up there. So I've just grabbed it. So it's Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life. And when my very first retreat, I called it Change Your Story, Change Your Life. And it was from reading this book and listening to this book that I sort of got the idea of it. So I'm going to read this part and then when you hear the bit that you're like, like why I opened it to this page, just anyway. Abandon outmoded familial and cultural customs. Relinquish rights that you feel compelled to follow simply because they've been that way in your lifetime and particularly in your family. Peacefully affirm, I am free to live, trusting in the eternal Tao I do not have to be as my ancestors were. I relinquish ancient rituals that no longer work or that perpetuate separation or enmity. Remind yourself that goodness isn't accessed by obeying laws, rather, it is what resonates with your essential nature. You don't need any sort of code to decide what is proper, good, moral, ethical, or legal. Trust yourself to be an instrument of love by surrendering to your highest nature rather than being seduced by mortal laws. This poem from the 16th century mystic St. John of the Cross, titled A Rabbit Noticed My Condition, beautifully describes this attitude. I was sad one day and went for a walk. I sat in a field. A rabbit noticed my condition and came near. It often does not take more than that to help at times, to just be close to creatures who are so full of knowing, so full of love, that they don't chat. They just gaze with their marvelous understanding. So I just thought, like, rabbit is my animal, right? So that was the animal that I chose that shows me that I'm on the right path. That when it appears, I can just go, oh, it's all going to work out. Everything is going to work out. So I have rabbit and I have number 11. So yarn, that is why your picture, just like when I saw that and I didn't know. So Annetta decided that she wanted to work with me. And then she said to me, Polly, I have my son and I need some help. And I said, yeah, just bring him with you and come in. And I didn't know anything about you, Jan. I just said, bring him, like, I'm here to help and I'm here to serve people. And then when we had a chat yesterday, because you know how on WhatsApp now you can make your photo there. So I've, you press somebody's name to call them and it fills up your whole screen now. It's so cool. Anyway, and like Georgie, I don't know if you know Georgie Ferguson, she's got a beautiful photo on there of her kids and stuff. It's just, I just love that. So I've pressed on this button to call Jan and there he is with number 11. I'm like, okay, this was meant to be. Like, I was meant to be there and meant to help. And like, sometimes we second guess some of the things that are going on in our life. We're like, why is this turning up? If you have something like that, I know, I think Lisa, yours is monkey, is that correct? Yeah. So all of us that have been doing this for a little while, we've all got an animal, we've all got a number, because I've always said, like, pick something, so that something that you don't see that often, but when you do see it, it is going to trigger in you that sense of calmness, so you can just bring everything back down. It's like, oh, okay, this is all going to work out because I've just seen this or something. So that was just absolutely perfect. And all I did was sit here and go, and look, I got the same page again. But that was there. So, everything is working out. And it's only when we're thinking that it's not going to work out that it probably won't, or we're looking for evidence, because sometimes the evidence doesn't appear straight away. Like, we're looking just when, but if you know that you've got $5 in your purse or in your wallet or something like that, you don't sit there and question it. There's a knowingness. So the same as your name. If your name is Polly, you don't question when somebody says, no, it's Holly, isn't it? And I'm like, okay, whatever. you're not going to argue because of the knowingness that you've got. So know that the universe is here to support you. Anything that you want, you can have, as long as you can stay tuned into the picture. And the picture, like pictures are worth 1,000 words. You can speak all you want. Like speaking is the lowest form of vibration that there is. Your picture and your thoughts is what you're going to get your feelings from. This is why I always say, have vision boards, have a knowingness of where you're going, who you want to be, and don't think that you have to wait, because the waiting is telling the universe I don't have it. So don't wait to be that person. Don't wait to turn up as that person. Turn up as that person now, and you will start to change what's happening out here in your life. Anyway, that was just something I thought I'd do as I was walking down the hallway. So this is your time, everybody. Whoever has a question, I'd like you to come on in and just put your hand up. Like, we'll just do it one at a time. But before you ask your question, I would like you to share a win, something that is going well in your life, and then ask the question that you want me to answer, or you want something to come through me and answer you. So, like, this is for you guys. Who wants to go first? Alana, come on in.
So my win is, good morning, everyone. We've got the Foresight turnout this weekend, and I sponsor the dog jumping and everything, so I get trophies and all that done. Anyway, the lady who does the trophies, I've been messaging, getting no response from her. And I thought, oh my God, something's happened to one of the kids or whatever. So I went out Wednesday night, there's nobody home, so that even made it worse. And then I thought, well, what can I do now? And then I started making plans. I've got a couple of old trophies here. I thought for the photo shoot, I'll just put them in there and then I'll get them the real ones later, blah, blah, blah. Then I thought, right, I'll just do Ho'oponopono and see what comes out of it. And lo and behold, I get a message from her. Oh, shit, I'm sorry, Alana. I thought I'd sent this message and I haven't sent it yet. Come round tonight and pick them up. How cool was that?
Well done. Yep.
Now, my question is, and I just want to talk through a little bit. I put it up on TIR. I don't know whether you saw that.
No.
So when I got this block here, I've just bought cattle down now. So it's had 4 months of just resting, and the grass is beautiful and luscious pastures and everything. So the bloke next door, he's got all his country eaten out with his 60 head of breeders. And he asked me initially whether he could like lease some land or, just some cattle there. And that was actually one of my plans at the start, was if I didn't have enough breeders or whatever to fill it up, that for a period of time I'd adjust cattle there to get some extra income. And I had 60 head in mind at the time, strangely. And some other fella from Chillagoe or somewhere was going to bring down 60 head of steers, but I haven't heard from him since. Anyway, so then I was thinking, oh no, maybe I've got enough of my own now that I can't afford to put that out there. And then I said, well, just wait till I bring the cattle down. So I brought the cattle down. And then he keep asking now, and his messages are getting a little bit more, I don't know, stringent or something. They're not quite as nice as asking in the first place. And then he's talking about, because I've got a fencer to go around the boundary and just make sure all the fences are okay. And he had to fix a floodgate that on old mate's side that he'd never fixed the whole time. So his cattle were coming and going anyway. And then he's telling me that, oh, you'll fix that up properly. And I thought, oh, well, it was fixed properly. So what's happened? And you pulled it down to let him back in. And I just had this feeling that, there was something blocking me from saying yes to him for some reason. And I don't know, then I thought, well, in retrospect, I've been thinking that, I thought, am I coming from a place of lack? Because last year we had 8 months of rain and grass just went to shit and I had to feed the cattle on the other block down here and everything. And then so that was where I was thinking, and then blah, 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 I was thinking that. And then I thought, oh, well, I'll ask the card. So I got my deck of cards out and I just did the yes, no. And bloody hell. And what I said was, I'm pretty sure I said, will I let old mate come on? And a yes came up. And I thought, all right, that's not congruent with what I'm doing. And then I thought, well, maybe I should have re-asked the question, should I let him come on? Might have been a better question to ask. Yeah. Anyway, So I'm still at that dilemma, but a stranger thing even happened. So I had people in the house up there, and I was talking to her on Sunday, sorry, and she was telling me about her husband having a few medical issues. And then anyway, on Tuesday, went to the doctor, ended up in hospital and been diagnosed with a brain tumor, which is, and that seems to have changed the vibration now somehow. And I'm feeling more open to let our mate bring his cattle over. I don't know what that's about, but anyway.
So
Where
if
am I?
I just think if it's taken me that long to get to a decision, then yes probably isn't it, because yes is just really easy. But then like you think about, it's the same, is it the same sort of energy that you had with the lady in the trophies? Like does it feel like the same, like I'm coming from that place, like holy shit, is this even going to work, blah blah? So he's doing the same thing that you were sort of doing.
No, it doesn't feel like that energy. It
Okay,
feels,
cool.
I
Go.
don't know, it feels heavy and disjointed energy
And
or
pushy.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And so then the next question is, do you need it? Like, if it's not a hell yes, then it's a hell no. You can't be either one. But like, I just go with everything with, if I go shopping for clothes, if it's not a 10 out of 10, I don't buy. So if it's not a 10 out of 10 feeling of yes, then there's something in there. So you gotta, like, your intuition is telling you something. So maybe
yeah,
you need to, like, can you go up there and walk around it and go, okay, what does it feel like? How would it feel? And if he's, I don't know, like without being in there, but you know, and your body will know. So I would go and stand, like if you can stand on the land, can you, is that
probably a
possible?
good idea. And
Yeah,
just,
stand on it and like ask yourself questions that you know the answer to, and you will find that your body will sway a certain way when
yeah,
it's absolute yes. And then ask yourself that question. Is it the right time now to let old mate's cattle on, and just let your body tell you?
yeah, I just think that the other part of it was that, like, he's a new neighbour and I don't want to get on the bad side of him. And then I also think, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And
Yeah,
there's
but you've got to put
stuff
you first
involved in
too. Like, if you've got mixed feelings like this and you let it happen, then the mixed feelings will create a bit of havoc.
it.
So like then there'll be an injury or something, and then he might blame you, or there'll be something happen, and then he'll blah blah blah, and it'll already, because you've got that mixed feeling. It's like if you employ somebody and you're sort of like, yeah, not quite sure if this is going to work out, then they'll be sick lots, and then this will happen, and blah 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 blah, and you're like, oh, fuck, I knew I shouldn't have done that. So like if it's not a hell yes, I would say
Oh no.
yeah. And this is your land. You're allowed to do with it whatever you want.
Yeah, that was a funny statement he come out with. He said, "Oh, I'll go around the fences and everything else." He said, "And then you'll have another paddock at the back of Fisher Creek." And I thought, well, I already have a paddock at the back of Fisher Creek because I know that I'm paying a fucking mortgage on it. So it was too
Yeah,
funny.
Sue said, Alana, the standing on the land is extremely helpful. I've done that before and everything became clear. Yeah, just
Yeah, I
the
think
land
that's what I'll
knows.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And like, Ho'oponopono too, that people's energy gets left behind. So you're picking up his energy. And if it feels a bit forceful as well, it's like, nah, you're trying to push me in. And then people try and stand over you sometimes too, to
yeah,
say, like, well, I've got this and you, and you're like, oh man, I already got all that. Obviously, you don't know who I am. So yeah, trust your gut.
righto. Thank you.
You're welcome. Like come from that place of 30-second decisions too. Can you make, yeah, and go, hang on, right? And you can delay. So you got to be careful when we're sitting in procrastination or indecision. You can say, okay, I'm going to make a decision once I go on the land, and then like remove it from your thought field until you get to the land and ask it, because that indecision then can create like head colds and stuff like that, because it's confusion and scattered thinking. Everything that goes on in our mind, hey, manifests in our body. So like we will, and our body sometimes is our mind, unless we can differentiate between the two and go, okay, this is a thought and this is a manifestation, and if I don't like this, change the thinking.
Yeah. Now, I already got a cold sore from it. And I thought I related that to this energy and everything.
Yeah.
It was,
So cold sores too are like angry words that you haven't spoken out too. Like,
Yeah.
so we've got to get the anger out. I used to get cold sores all the time, but mine always came up on my nose. And oh God. So, and because I thought that you were not supposed to let your feelings out, you were only allowed to let out the good stuff. So I'd store all the stuff in. Now I just go to town, not at the other people, just like fucking thing. Like, okay, phew, now clear that. Now get back into where you were. So like, just let it out. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome. I hope that helped. Yep. Okay, who's next? Well, this is going to be a short call. We've got no questions.
Hey, Polly.
Hello, Cheryl. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, thank you.
That's good. I haven't really got any questions as such, but yeah, I just thought I'd say hello.
Hello. So, well, like, you know, you've come on and said hello. There must be something that you're like, man, can you just help me with this? Or can you, like, do you understand? And this, you know, I was talking to somebody the other day, and they're paying me at the moment to work with me. They've paid me 12,000 to work with me for 6 months. And I call people on their things. The part that I decided to, when I was going to become a coach, I thought, okay, I can either tell people what they want to hear or I can tell people what they need to hear.
Yeah.
Because what they need to hear is what's going to have the breakthrough. Anyway, this person was telling me, and I've been talking like for about 3 weeks in a row now, he's anxious, like, or he's overwhelmed and everything's going a little bit crazy, blah, blah, blah. And I said, Righto, you're creating this. You need to stop. He's like, what? I said, everything that's happening out there, you're creating it. So if you want things to change, you've got to slow down and be calmer. There is no lack. Like, as soon as you come from lack, you are going to create lack. So you're going to have to slow down and breathe. You know, like, so if you wake up late, there's a place that you come from lack all day. Like, I should have been up early and I should have, and all these things start to happen and you create havoc. I was exactly where I'm supposed to be. The sleep-in was supposed to happen for something that blah, blah, blah. Like yesterday, I had a full day in my business planned and then somebody rang in sick. So I had to go to the other place. Now, I could have gone in there and been like, whatever. I went in there and I thought, okay, I need to be here for something. The universe is always helping me and it's always working out for me. So today I need to be here. Man, I smashed out the end of the month. It got all done. I just feel so calm today, and I've got to do it again today. But today I've also got to go to the canteen because I'm a helper over there in the canteen. So like today is, and I'm going fishing at 2 o'clock. So like it's like, woohoo, okay, got lots of planning put in. But if I go with the stressed energy and crazy energy, I'm going to have a crazy day. And it's probably going to keep going because the more you stay in it, then the more you look at it and so like it has to come out. So just calm your farm. And this is what I said to him all, like just calm everything down and just take one thing at a time. And then he rang me back 2 days later and he said, that conversation that we had was worth the $12,000 that I paid. Because now I'm understanding I cannot blame anybody else. It all comes from me. It starts and it ends here. And so when I know that, I am calmer, and my wife is even telling me that I'm calmer now, and like it's just so cool. And he is just in love with life again, and things are still coming from that energy that he'd had, but now he's like, okay, this is all going to be fine. It's all going to work out, and you know that energy is going to then create the circumstance that you want to live in. So I know that you've got some things like going on that have been hanging around for maybe, is it 12 months now that we've been?
Me?
Yeah.
I think I've been with you for about nearly 2 years now. Like,
Yeah.
I have got lots of things going on, but I don't know. I'm actually handling it. Like I'm just trying to focus on what you've taught me and yeah, I've got lots going on with
Yeah.
my mum's estate.
Like there's been this one sort of thing that you've been like, well, every time you message, you tell me about one certain thing. I'm just waiting for this to finish. I'm just waiting for this to finish. And this is where I would say, stop waiting for it to finish and be the energy that it is finished. And it's all done and you have what you want, which
Yeah,
I'm sure you're getting into.
yeah, I am trying to do that. Yeah, I've got my mum's estate stuff going on, and that's quite hairy. Like we've got issues with family members,
Mhm.
mainly my brother-in-law who's the executor, and he's been quite heinous, and it's been ongoing lawyer appointments. But in saying that, like I'm the main spokesperson because my brothers and sisters are all in their 70s, so I'm the one that's been dealing with the lawyers and things like that. But I've tried to put into practice what you've taught me, and surprised. Like I mean, I have some moments like I just go, oh, but the next day I pick myself up, dust myself off, and I've been able to cope and just keep going with it. Like financially, it's kind of been a bit of a strain, but even that, I'm like, right, okay, well, I'm all good, and so I've been like, not fantastic because it would be better if I was already at the end, but I'm thinking to myself, oh, I'll get there, it'll get to the end, and putting into practice, most part, what you've taught me. And yeah, I've also,
Can I just butt in?
yeah,
So there's one word that I would love you to remove, that trying. We either do or we
yeah,
don't.
I've got a habit of
So
saying
yeah, to get rid of
yeah,
start to really be conscious every time you go to say that, and then like rebut it straight away. Like I'm trying. No, actually, I am doing differently, and I am doing this, and really
yeah,
start to tell yourself that. And then the part where you said, "I know it's gonna all work out one day," sort of thing. You're telling the universe it hasn't happened yet, so it's holding it away. So
yeah,
you've got to go, righto, it's done. And every day you're like, it's done. And you turn up as if it's done. You love your brother-in-law. You absolutely love him. Like you have to send him love, because as long as you're holding that space that he can be heinous, or whatever the word is that you use,
yeah,
he is going to keep, that's all you can see. So whatever is in your consciousness is what you're going to filter everything through. So if you keep seeing him as that, everything he says is going to get filtered through that, and all you're going to be able to see is that. So if you can make that love, or get as close to love as you can,
yeah,
everything is for the best, and this is all working out, and blah blah blah. And maybe have a bit of compassion for the position that he's in. Like I saw with some other family members of mine when somebody passed away, and somebody was the executor and the kids weren't, and blah blah blah, like it was a bit of chaos, but the executor like had a really tough time. And I thought, this part of the family don't really understand what they've got to go through. And like if they had more compassion there, it would have been such a nicer journey for everybody. Because it's this is where I tell people to be selfish. Get your energy right. Get your energy and come from the place of love, because love will heal everything. Love for your body will heal anything in your body. Love for yourself, love for the energy, and love for other people will help you transition through anything. It's the highest energy that there is.
yeah,
And we can come up with excuses why we can't, blah, blah, blah. But if you can, like, I don't know, float pictures of him. I don't know if you've got, I know your son, like you can feel absolute love and unconditional love for your son, I'm sure.
yeah.
If you can float him through that so that he starts to get some, you'll start to see a softer and kinder side of these people, and things will start to change as well.
We're not talking the whole
It doesn't
family.
matter.
Yeah,
It
we're
doesn't
not
matter.
talking,
But see this energy, like
yeah.
it's boxed
Now
in.
look,
Like, boo, boo.
yeah, it's been a strain, but I have coped. Like I don't think we'll be talking again. Like I've written off the
Don't
whole
have to,
family.
but you
So
need to
yeah, I've
chill.
forgiven them for myself. Like and I've just got to see past it and just get through the process. That's what I'm telling myself. Yeah, but yeah, and I've had a few other curveballs thrown at me from my ex-husband too. So I'm doing an art tribunal with him as well. But yeah, I'll get through it. I'm just like, I'm strong. I know I am. I've done it before, and yeah, I know that I can get through it. So I've just tell myself I'm going to be good and everything will be fine and it'll all work out in the end. So yeah, but I'm doing quite well. I think, better than I was when I spoke to you last. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well done.
Thank
Congratulations.
you. Thanks, Polly.
Annetta.
Hello, good evening.
All right.
Even though I know it's good morning, but it's good evening here. I have a question, but I can start with the win.
Yep.
And the win is I felt incredibly fantastic this morning because your staff wants to help me with my posting and social media. And it was, for me, it felt like, oh my God, this is happening. I didn't believe it. I still have a little bit of problem believing it, but yeah, it really felt like I haven't experienced this feeling for years.
Feels like a bit like coming home, hey?
Yeah, it was, yeah, so good that I couldn't believe it. And I
Yeah.
still
Nice.
don't quite believe it, but okay. Anyway, so I'm really excited and looking
So
forward
there's
to
a bit of a self-image shift that you're going to have to step into. Like, I know when we wrote your self-image script the other day and went through a few things, so now we really have to step into that I have a team that helps me and like part of it. Yes, so you got to step into that part.
Yeah, okay. And then it was like many things. I thought, oh, okay, now I have to start a business and blah 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 because I'm going to have so many clients. But then I said, okay, everything will work out, so I don't have to think about it now. So, and I have a question. You just mentioned love can heal everything and even your body. I know it, but can you tell some? I know, I mean, I've heard about it, but can you tell something more about healing our own bodies with love?
Okay, so I don't know, I haven't done any Reiki stuff or anything. I've never done a course. I've had it done on me a couple of times. But you know, when I went to, which I didn't know, when I went to have that aura reading, the lady said to me, Polly, you can really push energy out through your hands. And I thought, yeah, I already knew that, because whenever I've had like a stomach pain or anything like that, I've been able to get rid of it just by putting my hand on it and then just visualizing love, like love energy and like white light coming out through my hand and putting it wherever it is. And I've done it on other people too, like just anyway. So then, but then also I know that whatever happens in my mind is going to have like come out in my body. So it was a few months ago, my son just walked into my bathroom. Oh no, I was in the bathroom and Ryan's saying, Mum, blah, blah, blah. And I said, Ryan, go and get me a bowl, please. And he's like, oh, okay. So he's gone and got me a bowl, brought it to, and I'm sitting on the toilet and I've got a bowl there because I really felt ill. And he thought, okay, she's got down for the day. She's down for the day. 2 hours later, it took me 2 hours to turn it around and go, okay, I am in charge of this body. This body does what I want it to do. So I have to love it, instead of like, because the energy is like, why the hell does this happen, or blah, blah, blah. And I feel this and I feel that and da, da, da. I just change it and go, okay, I feel amazing. And I talk myself through it. And like, because it was like in my throat and here, I was just sort of putting my hands there and just giving myself love, like just talking love words to myself and just stuff like that. Within 2 hours, I was looking like I am now. Went to the workshop, and Ryan's like, how did you do that? And I said, this thing up here is the most powerful thing that we have. And I just had pictures of myself walking into the workshop and smashing out my day because I had so much to do and blah, blah, blah. Like, so I don't know how to explain it, because it's, you know, some people just have those natural abilities that they can just do it. But you can, whatever you can see, you can do. So like, with you with volleyball, we talked about that. Like, I cannot see myself slam dunking a ball. So I know that unless I've got a trampoline because I've done it with a trampoline with the kids' basketball hoop, but I cannot see myself doing it. But if I can see myself as well, then I can get well. And I can, like, because my mind is going to create it. And like the the chiropractor story that I told you, how like the dad was a chiropractor and the son was a chiropractor, and the son had hurt himself and he's just laying on the floor and he was there down for the count, and the dad, after 2 days or a couple of weeks, the dad comes in and says, "Are you actually seeing yourself getting up and walking?" And he's like, "No, I'm just seeing myself here for the bloody rest of my life." He said, "Well, that's your problem. See yourself as getting up." And like within 2 days or 2 hours or something like that, he was up and walking around and getting better. So it's this part, like the seeing in our mind, which will create it. And then whenever we have an ailment in our body, it's because of some negative emotion that we've had, and love will conquer all. So there, you just, like I said to you the other day, I haven't got to the place yet where I can remove like a tumor or something. I've had to have things like that removed surgically, but I can heal stomach pains, and I can heal headaches, and I can heal myself from having vomiting and those sorts of things. So yeah, love. It's just love
So
for itself.
we can talk to the part
Yeah, yeah.
hurting, or like my thyroid or
Mm-hmm.
my hip. I can just talk to it.
Yeah. And so
And
like
then
I use Louise Hay's Heal Your Body book
Yeah.
a lot as well. So if I had that thing of, I had really sore shoulders there for a whole, like it was a few months, and then I went to, one of my friends is a chiropractor, but then she can do healing, distant healing. So I was just laying on the floor in my room, in my office at the workshop upstairs, and she said, "I've just got my hands on your feet." Well, man, I felt that heat. So like we are energetic before we're physical. So she can do all these sorts of things as well. And I thought, well, if she can do it on me from there, I can do it on me, because I'm right here, I'm with this. So yeah, and it's just mindset, hey? It's just
Yeah, it
absolute
is.
belief and faith will always trump whatever is going on physically around you.
Mm. Yeah, I've tried different things, and thank you, Alana. The emotion code, I've read it, and I actually went to I met, what's his name? The guy from with the emotion code. I don't remember, but I actually went to his workshop live in Poland,
Yeah.
and he did this thing on me. It didn't help, so I don't know. Must be something
Yeah.
strong.
Well, when I went and saw Eckhart Tolle, he like this is where you really get to understand that there's two parts of you. There's the inner being, and then there's the external one. And the external one will always be a representation of the inner. So if the inner is not in alignment, then it's going to be like discord or dis-ease in your body. So then you got to go, okay, so where am I not aligned with the actual truth of me? The truth of me is I'm infinite potential, I'm energy, I am God, and I am part of God. And I see, like, it can be spirit, it can be God, universe, whatever you want to call it, like, but God is love in my eyes. So I always replace it as like, because I had this thing for a little while there, like, if you say God, I just don't know, blah blah blah, just say love. I just could change that word for love. And I used to watch a heap of oh, he's a preacher, and he does a lot of, oh, I can't remember his name. Anyway, he used to be on at 6 o'clock in the morning on Sundays, and I'd get out of bed and watch him. And he sort of spoke like thinking into results sort of stuff. And I was like, wow, before I knew thinking into results, I'd get out of bed and watch him. And so he was all about just love. I would just tune into love. So that's our energy. And I just think like there's a big cloud, and that's spirit or God or whatever. And a part of that, like a tornado, comes in, and that's my spirit. And so I'm connected to all of that. And I know everything that's in there, because everything that you think is in there, everything that Alana thinks is in there, everybody thinks is in there, and all the accomplishments and all the knowledge is in there. So all I have to do is quieten down this thing called a mind that thinks, because thoughts are everywhere, and it just gathers, like it just tunes into whatever I'm focused on. So if I'm focused on what I want, it will get thoughts to help me get there. But if I'm focused on what I don't have, it'll show me thoughts that are gonna like help me stay there too. So we attract thoughts in harmony with what we are. So at some point I must have believed in that illness, or in that I could attract that to me. So then I've just got to go, hang on a moment, but I'm God, I can heal anything, and I can heal myself like this. You think of all the stories in the Bible and everything that Jesus healed, and you think, okay, I'm that. I can do it. And that's the power that we all have. We can heal our life. We can heal our body. We can heal anything that is going on around us. Ho'oponopono, like that has always been, as soon as I heard about that, I thought, what is this? So I became a practitioner in that, because I thought, if all it is clearing energy and clearing negative thinking out of us, then holy crap, you can heal so much. And I'm so amazed at how much doesn't come into my view compared to other people around me, sort of thing. They see all this and like, I don't even see that. That didn't even turn up on my feed, or I never even heard that, or blah, blah, blah. Mine is in harmony with me. And whenever something does turn up that's negative, I'm like, okay, there's something in me that I've got to heal, because there's got to be something that I'm bringing in there. So how do I heal it? Love it. Like, love the situation, love the person, love, like, send love out. I hope that helped.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Jan, come in. I just want to read Sue's here. Also, you could do it every night before you go to sleep as well. Thinking of the ache, pain, releases it. Yeah, so, you know, how do they get rid of a virus? They match the virus with the virus. How do you smash a champagne glass? You match the energy of the champagne glass and it smashes. So we match the energy of it and then send love to it. So I don't know if that makes any sense to any of, like, you match the vibration of it and then love it, and then you can just blow out anything. Jan, sorry, come on in.
Yeah, hi or good morning, everyone. Today I went on a bike ride 30 kilometers in an hour blank. So yeah, that's a win for me. And I just, because sometimes when I'm sitting alone or just like sometimes I have these like thoughts or like self-doubts in myself that what if I don't succeed? But it's getting more and more, or not, like less and less than it was before. And yeah, what you just said, that love can overcome anything. So, and even as we spoke yesterday, or yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, just a question about what can I do about it? Just like believe more in myself, or
Well, it's just about kicking those ones out. So you think about lesson 5, which is next, next, next. Or if it feels really, you know, we make up, like we make up stories all the time. And this is one way that I play around with Ho'oponopono. If I'm trawling, so we're going fishing today, and I'm already seeing myself catching this big fish, right? I've said to Craig, we need that bigger net, because last time Hannah hooked this fish and Craig only had the smaller net in, and me and Ryan were like, I don't know how that's fitting in. And then she lost the fish, and I was like, okay, we got to make sure the bigger net's in the boat this time, Craig. Just make sure it's in there. He's like, yeah. Anyway, so whatever we're thinking is going to, like, just, and the more we have less resistance to it, like that was just an idea. We didn't have to think about it much, and just like, boom, okay, we can't do that. So we would have had to then like do a bit of work now. So now, like, and then there's physical that you have to do, because we can do that work energetically, but then if we don't act differently, then because our thoughts and feelings create the action. So if we don't act any differently, then we're not really changing much, because the feeling creates the action. So while I'm trawling for fish, like if my head goes to thinking negative things, it's like, oh, clean that up, Ho'oponopono, do that sort of thing, and straight away I catch a fish, or I hook a fish and stuff, and it's just like really instant. Like, energy changing is instant work and instant change. We've been crabbing and stuff, and we thought people were checking our pots, and they probably were, and we were all negative and getting cranky because every pot, and I said, no, let's clear this. So I did Ho'oponopono and said, right, now let's pull up this next pot. 2 crabs in there tied up for us, all ready to go. So the crabbers had actually tied up our crabs, or put 2 in there, who knows. And it was like, wow, that's cool. That's amazing. Like, and Craig's just like, how the hell did we do that? But really, it's cleaning the energy. And whenever a thought does pop in that's negative, just kick it out. Like, you are not your thoughts unless you feel it. Thoughts are just everywhere. people drop thoughts, like in Ho'oponopono, people leave their energy. Like I've taken thoughts out and like that one can stay there. It's not coming with me any further. Like that's shit. So, walking is a good thing, like moving, and like some people can't sit and do meditation to clear their thinking. Some people ride bikes or do moving meditations, like a lot of mine is done either coloring in or painting or something creative. But you can just go, holy crap, like, you'll think one thought and you'll just keep attracting more and more thoughts in harmony with that. So as soon as you have a bit of doubt, it's going to, like, if you don't kick it out pretty quickly, it's going to like really start to get heavy and heavy and heavier. And then that's sometimes then you need to like have an exorcism to get the thinking out. So go, Jan, go.
Yeah, and also now just remind myself that I just love some of the Polish sayings. It's mom was gonna like this one. It's przestań pierdolić, which means stop speaking bullshit. So yeah, so it's like one of those, and even if my friends start speaking negative, I just whip that one out or to myself even in the mirror, or not in the mirror, but when I think to myself, just like yeah, start making sense and stop spewing out bullshit.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah.
so, like, how on the news that they have those words or breaking news along the bottom there, I just think that's my thoughts. It's just going to be there all the time. Doesn't mean that they have to like control how I feel. It can just be, oh, that's just a thought. That's a shit one. That one can go. That one, oh, that was a nice one. Let's just stay with that one for a bit. And how does that feel? But the other thing too is if you need thinking to change your physiology, do something physical, get up, move around, sit up straighter, smile, like just smiling can change the way that you feel, and getting in the mirror, saying the affirmations and stuff, like it all helps. Everything sort of helps. And we live in a world that is 95% negative. So it's not that you're going to be positive all the time, but you can get better and better and better, and there's better thinking, and that's what we've got to.
Yeah, we can just like spread out the positivity and like what's it called? Once just like spreading out through our friends to our close ones, and
Yeah.
just cutting off them who don't want to listen, or
Yeah. There's a 6-phase meditation that Vishen Lakhiani does that I really like. I did that right at the beginning when I became a coach, and he was one of the ones that taught me how to just that meditation, how to cultivate love in your heart and then spread it out. So you spread it out through your body first, so you get it all through your body, and then spread it out to fill the room, and then spread it out to fill up your whole house, and then spread it out to fill up your street, spread it out to fill up your town, and then spread it out. And I just see like all these lights going on in the world sort of thing, like that every time and when all the lights are on in the world, then I know that I've put love out there. Like whatever we think is going to happen, like that's how powerful we are. So if you have never done that, look up that one, because it really does go through these 6 phases, the love, the gratitude, like your own self-healing and everything. It's really nice. It's a nice.
yeah. And also quite lately I've been I don't know if it's stupid or not, but I like this quote: "A lion don't concern himself with the opinion of the sheep." Yeah, yeah. So like, I mean, it kind of gets off a bit like rude, but it's also like self confidence boost as well. So
Yeah.
they're just like blocking out the
Yeah, well, the
sheep.
sheep would be calling, like thinking that the lion's so powerful and blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah.
yeah,
Yeah. And so that's another thing that I've gotten my clients to do at some stage too, is just ask your friends what they think of you. What are some words that they would use to describe you? Because sometimes we will only look at what we haven't achieved or what we haven't quite made yet or what we haven't quite done yet, rather than all the things that we have done. And like that's one of the things that I bring into my gratitude practice is what can I be grateful for that I never thought I'd accomplish? Like when I was younger or stuff like that, like getting in my Porsche and starting that whenever I'm not feeling good, man, the noise that thing makes, I just love it.
yeah. And also when I'm like or telling about this new contract to my friends, they're like saying all the positive things, but I like for a moment I was thinking that it was like kind of lackluster because it wasn't like at what, but then I think to myself, hello, it's like a super achievement from where I was last season to where I'm now is like day and night. So I'm starting to like acknowledge it at what I'm actually doing. And even today, when I was like 15 kilometers away in a one town, I was in this just local shop, and then just a random total guy bumped into me and asked me how if I'm over 2 meters. I went, yeah, and he was like, "Do you play basketball?" No, I play volleyball, and he just started spewing out his like shit and like talking about sports. And he asked me about like my life and career and all that those stuff, and I told him who I was playing and where I was going. It was like, oh, really nice, really nice, and I was like, felt really good about it. And he told me that I have a great career ahead of me, and I've never met the guy. So yeah, he thanked me, and also he had this like I think she was 3 or 4 years old daughter, and he told me, yeah, let me get a picture of you two, yeah. So she was like here, and I was like here. So it was like really funny. He just like dapped me up, and I went on my way, yeah. So it was really nice and like funny exchange.
And then when you hit your goal that you did your self-image on, he'll be like, I've got a picture with him and my daughter.
Yeah, he told actually that he was like, you never know, maybe one day you'll be super famous, or this will be expensive.
Yeah, and then he'll want you to autograph it. Then
Yeah,
just creating pictures like that, like always looking for what could be the best. How can I think the biggest? When we go, like that's why I'm reading The Magic of Thinking Big to everybody. When we go to that place of like, what's the biggest that I can think about this? Then our mind automatically flips to, okay, let's do this, let's do this, and let's do this. And then you're in that energy of, growth and expansion and bigger and excitement. So awesome stuff. Awesome. Cool. Who else wants to jump in? Anybody else got a question? Or maybe it's something you've even realized that would help everybody else in here too, that you've sort of worked through and gone, oh my God, I've figured this out.
yeah. One last thing. I think it was like in half an hour, an hour before this meeting. I was supposed to go out with my mates. I went there, and then we were sitting doing nothing. And then my mate said, "Yeah, just go home." So they drove me home. So yeah, I wasn't supposed to be on this meeting today. So this is also a win for today. Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. Good, good. Is there anything that you want me to talk about or maybe explain a bit more? So, who's coming on? Eva? Good morning.
Hello. Explain a bit more. That 6 phases or something you just mentioned.
Yes. So that's in YouTube. It's
Okay.
from Vishen Lakhiani.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll copy it and put the link in there so that you can just press on it.
Okay, that'll be good.
So he created Mind Valley. So I've been a member.
Oh, yes. Yep.
Um,
I watch Mind Valley on YouTube a fair bit. Yeah.
Yep. So let me get this. Share.
Yeah, because I seem to have trouble, and I don't know if it's just me to start to meditate. Like I've done a few things with you and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I really need to do that because I don't face a lot of things. I just want to. Well, that's what I think I do. I cover a lot of things up, or don't. Yeah, not think about them. So I think I need to get to the core why I'm not
Well,
doing these things.
like, are you talking about things that you need to do and maybe you've got to
Things I need to do, and yeah.
Yeah. So the best thing to do is to take immediate action. Because, the longer you leave it, and I was talking to one of my clients yesterday about this. Now I said, now go and do something about this. Just take immediate action. Just ring somebody or turn up and just ask the question. They're like, that's so scary. I said, you're going to have to get through fear. No matter what it is, you are going to have to overcome the terror barrier to get it, because what you want is always on the other side of it. So, and the only way to get through it is to take action. And so you take action in the energy that I always get for what I want, and turn your emotions off from the result.
Okay.
So if I was coaching a coach and they were reaching out to people. Nobody's answering me, Polly. I'm getting ghosted. That's okay. It's just not them. So just don't go into the results like nobody wants to hear from me, blah, blah, blah. It's just not them. And you've got to keep going and keep reaching out until you figure out which one was the right one. How does it feel? And then, you know, like when you get the result back, they're like, oh my God, yes, I want to do this with you. Then you got to think, okay, how was I feel? Like, what was the feeling when I was reaching out to them? So then you need to then like, and this is part of what Vision teaches as well. And also, I've done a lot of Jose Silva's work about using your mind and seeing yourself as doing it. So like that is so powerful too, Eva. If you can see yourself doing it and then just keep visualizing yourself doing the thing that you fear the most or the thing that you put off, then before long, it'll just feel natural to do it.
Yep.
And so like, this is why we record our self-images. This is why we write our goal. This is why we do all of this work, so that those images feel natural. And then like, you're just like, oh, so I don't know how many times I've visualized myself driving that Porsche before, like in that 9 months. I had no idea how I was going to pay for it, had nothing like that. And like I showed my figures to my friends in Darwin, they're like, that was a bad year, Polly. I said, yeah, I know. $119,000 loss in 1 year in my figures. And they still gave me finance. Like, I'm like, these mob are fucking crazy. We're just going off my figures. But now, like 3 years on, it's like 193,000 profit. So like, and that happened from my belief. So, you know, we can turn anything around, absolutely anything around, but we've got to see ourselves differently. We've got to see ourselves as doing it first. We cannot do anything that we can't see ourselves doing. And we won't do anything that we can't see ourselves doing. We won't even take the action on it. So the first thing I would say, use your imagination, see yourself doing it. And then just start. Just start. Doesn't matter how scary it is. And, you know, don't put so much emphasis on failure.
Yeah.
Because we are going to fail our way to success. Like a plane is off track 90% or 95% of the time. But because it gets off track, the mechanism comes in and puts it back on track, keeps putting it back on track. The autopilot keeps putting it back on track. So that's what we have to do, is just keep coming back to like, no, this is going to work. This is it. This is who I am. Ooh, got a bit sideways. Come back and come back. And just keep doing it.
Okay. Thank you, Polly.
You're welcome. Action is the biggest thing that a lot of people don't do. And even like sending love is an action. If you have anybody in your life that bothers you and that you have a negative feeling towards, that it doesn't do anything to them. All it does is screw up your own. So this is why I say love is the most powerful thing that there is. Love them where they are at. They're doing the best they can with what they've got, just like you are. And if you cannot love them, that means you cannot love yourself unconditionally. So you've got to work on that. Because if you can have negative feelings towards other people, that also means that you can have a whole lot of negative feelings towards yourself, because you can't treat other people like any different than you can treat yourself. So you've got to start to have understanding. And understanding is like the conscious mind, whatever is in somebody's thought and that has made its way into their subconscious mind is creating the results. And our subconscious mind was built before we were 6. So it's quite childish. And that's why people do some childish things, and they like chuck tantrums and they speak blah, 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 because we were taught that way. Like, you think about it, if you've got somebody that to get your attention or to get your love throws a tantrum or belittles you or something like that, you know that that's how they were brought up. So their parents probably did it to them and said, you're no good at this and da 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 da, like whatever came out of their mouth. And then they're going to do it to other people because that's all they know. So you just got to go, okay, they're doing it their way. I'm going to do mine my way. And my way is to find something good. Like leaving people with the impression of increase can be leaving your energy, your good feeling energy in a place, like in a chair. Like I get up out of this chair, there's going to be some energy left there. And the next person that sits in it, you can probably, maybe you've all felt this, but you can walk into a room and it just feels icky. You're like, what the hell is this? you're like, okay, other people have left their negative energy there, like me taking a thought out and leaving it there. Like I'm saying, fucking sorry for the next person that walks into that thought and grabs it, but it's like walking into a fart. It is not fun, but it happens. So we just got to clean it up and try and get those out and turn ourselves around. So we're like walking the way we would if we had everything that we wanted, that we be the person. And a goal is not there for you to get. A goal is about the person you become in the process. So like I said to somebody the other day, I was a mega bitch. That was my name. People used to call me a mega bitch. And so for me to turn that around, it took some work. And I hid away for like, I think it was like nearly 6 months sort of thing. I know the first 3 months that I studied thinking into results and became a coach in it, because we had a year to do it and I did it in 3 months. I thought, no, I'm going to get this out of here. I'm going to get this done before I go on this holiday in August to the States. I thought, I'm going on this holiday and it's all going to be finished. And I'd signed up sort of end of May. So June, July, August, I had it done. I got my certificate in September when I went to training. So you can so I really just studied who I was. And then I came back into the world sort of thing, and people were like, what the hell happened to you? And, I had somebody that I hadn't seen for 5 years walk into the workshop probably 2 months ago, and they're like, Polly, who are you? You're not, like, even your face is softer, everything's changed, you look younger, like, what the hell? And I said, yeah, I just learned how to love myself, and if I love myself, it has to come out and love all you guys. And he's like, yeah, right, okay. And they look at me like I'm a bit batty. That's okay. Like I got people telling me I'm a part of a cult and I run a cult. That's okay. They can say whatever they want. If it means that the people around me get to grow and they get to accomplish the things that they never thought possible, then I don't care what you call me. I just love helping people get what they want. And like I'm doing a live today, the thing that sparks me the most is my father-in-law took his own life 7 years ago because of a story in his head. Now, our stories are so powerful, and the stories that we invest in can be so powerful. So I never want to see another person create a story in their mind that there's no other way out bar suicide, because it's devastating for everybody around us, and the anguish that he went through in those days beforehand. But you know what? Decision is so, it's like it releases all the energy and all the tension, everything. As soon as you make a decision that this is what I'm doing. So on the Wednesday, he had decided, because Thursday, like we're getting all these messages, it seems to have turned a corner, he decided, and he went into town and he got everything prepared. And then on Friday, he took his own life. So decision creates everything, and decision is freeing. So that was another thing that became really clear to me when I read Bob's decision article, and I thought, okay, yeah, now I understand this. I really understand this and how decision just creates. So then I just make a decision that I'm going to be the thing that I want to be, the person I want to be. I'm going to have what I'm going to have and what I want, and I'm going to do the things that I need to do, and I'm going to do them in a way that helps everybody. Because like it's one to say to be selfish. What I say about being selfish is guard your own vibration, like guard your thoughts, and don't tune into other people's ideas about whatever it is that you're doing, because if it's not in their belief system, they're going to taint you. They're going to say to you, I don't think that's possible. Or they're going to tell you that the people that you're following are no good, and they're going to find negative things. You can find negative things on everybody. Like even the richest people in the world and the most successful people in the world, there's something that you can dig up dirt on. But if you focus on that, that's all you're going to see. So this is where we've got to start to look at ourselves too. What's really good about me? What am I put here to do? And like, what's the legacy that I want to leave behind? If you've got children, what do I want my children to see? What do I want them to know? Do I want them to know that they can do anything they want? So then I've just got to start like pushing the 8 ball out there a little bit more and making my dreams bigger to show them that they can do anything. And That's why I do some scary shit sometimes, but that's okay. Like, I just think this is a game. You know, if you're playing Monopoly, you play around sometimes. Like, don't ever play that with my husband. You get called really nasty words if you win. But yes, okay, MJ, been some great ideas here this morning. It's time for me to head off. Thanks again. Okay, quick question. How do you guard your energy and give love at the same time? For example, if someone you love is hurtful and negative in what they say. So other people are only going to mirror the way you speak to yourself internally. And that can be something that can be off-putting, like I didn't, but like, really, let's think about this. How do you speak to yourself if the image in the mirror isn't what you want? Do you, like, I know that I've called myself fat and ugly and all sorts of things. And the way that you, like, because I used to be a really big beater upper on myself as well. Still, sometimes it tries to come in, and I have to work to get back to the love thing. But however you speak to yourself is going to be one part, and then however you accept. So there's a little saying that I did a live on the other day was, love yourself enough to walk away from that which no longer serves you, grows you, or makes you happy. So it's not that you have to rebut things, you just walk away. Because whatever you accept as a truth in your life and stand there and like let in will then just keep being repeated, because you, like, if you're allowing it, then it will, like, it's like you're accepting it as true, and it'll just keep happening, whatever's in your subconscious mind. So there's got to be, like, you're going to have to do some self-image work there and some self-worth work, which is like what I really help people with. That's probably my best thing that I help people with, is seeing themselves different and turning up different. That's why, like, I immerse in people in retreats and stuff. So that would have to change, the way that you see you, and then the way that you turn up. Like, if you look back at photos of me 10 years ago, this is not what you see. And I have not had any cosmetics, surgery, injections or anything. But if you saw me 10 years ago, I do look a lot older than I do now. And I'm 49, 50 next year. So it's like, this work softens you. It makes you love yourself more, but you've got to love you first. Nobody else can, and until you do. I hope that makes sense, MJ.
Just on that, Polly.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's quicker to talk, isn't it, than messaging? If the person is, like, so the person for me is my dad, but it is quite tricky because it, like the saying that you said about, if it's not serving you, kind of leave it behind. But like our mum, our mum and dad are together still, but our mum is like the true, like, just beautiful, lovely, everything about her. She's got her own little thing she wants to work out, but whatever. But it's so hard, because it's like, there's been conversations that I've had, and I just said, look, I am not putting up with the way that dad talks to me or my kids or whatever, it's so hurtful. And if that's what he's going to bring, don't bother bringing him, kind of thing, because that's me trying to protect, like, I don't want my kids to be surrounded by that negative stuff and all that kind of stuff. But it's quite hurtful for mum then, because she's like, well, I want my family to be together. I want everybody to be together. And then I'm like, well, that's cool. You need to go sort your husband out, because we can't be around him. It's awful.
Yeah. Is there anything good about him that you can find?
Not in recent years. Like, he's in a mind whole kind of thing of his own that he needs to shift out some way or another. Like, not recently, no. Like, in childhood.
Go back. You've got a memory,
things.
right? We've got this mental faculty called a memory. So you've got a memory that you can go back and you can find some good things.
Yes.
Yep. So I would write them down. And I know that this might sound a little bit wishy-washy and woo-woo. I would write down the good things, and I would hold that, like, keep that piece of paper with you. And every time you think about your dad, just think about those things, because he can only turn up as you see him to. So if you think somebody's an asshole, they cannot turn up any other way until you decide that, yeah, I can see the softer side and I can see them as different.
Yeah, because I've tried to do that like this year, because we've lived down here now, so we're a lot closer to him. And I'm like, righto, let's organise a camping trip, because that's a good memory from us as childhood, Let's organise a camping trip, Dad. You and us, just me and my kids and him, so he can just be full pop mode.
Yeah.
And then it's like, yeah, it's just like trying to be the positive energy, trying to give the love, and then it's just like hammer down, hammer down, hammer down. And then I'm like, okay. So then for my boy's birthday just the other day, all he wanted was Pop to take him fishing. And he said, "Oh, well, that's you saying that. You just want me to connect with him. That's just him." And I'm like, "Well, he actually said that, like he really wants you to take him fishing, because I talk about when we were kids going fishing with Dad." And then he said, "Well, if the bastard wants me to take him fishing, then he's got to ask me myself or us." And then I'm like having the conversation with my son. I was like, "You really, talk to Pop about this, because that's going to make him excited to take you fishing." And he's just going to say no. We know what he's like. And then I'm like, oh,
From that, I would say your dad's got a pretty low self-image of himself. And
yeah, he wears the shield.
yeah, big time.
Absolutely. We all know that
You
about him.
probably have, and you probably have to a certain extent too, because you cannot see what you don't have going on in yourself, right? And that you've overcome yourself. So it doesn't mean that it's still active in you, but you may have overcome it. So that's where you can see it, right? So I would ask your son, if he can't go and see it, write your Pop a letter. And then the other thing too would be, ask your dad. This is what I'd be like. I would ask my dad, what sort of relationship do you want to have with my kids? Because this is the way it's going at the moment. What sort of relationship do you want?
We've had them yarns, because he had an awful relationship with my brother who lives with us now. And I've said, like you were like that with him as a child. That's what you like with your other grandsons. Do you want that? Because I know that when Dad gets on the piss, he gets full emotional about that. Like he thinks that his relationship with his son is all his fault, which, yeah, and then we've had them conversations where I'm like, do you want another relationship like that, or do you want to be better? Like this could be something so good.
So the thing too, though, is if you try and tell somebody what they need to do differently, they will not accept it, because it feels a bit forceful. So if then you ask, okay, Dad, so how can we do this differently this time? And let him answer, because when he answers, he's hearing it like it's coming out of his mouth. He is making this little cognition in his brain of thinking, because you can only think of the contents of your own consciousness. So if his consciousness is full of, I'm a shit dad, I'm a shit grandfather, blah, 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 he can only act on that, because that is going to create the feeling. So then we've got to get him to think differently. So the goal is, so he's already got the goal. He wants a different relationship. So now you've got to ask him, Dad, so what's some things that we can do differently? And how can we bridge this gap so that we can start to get in line with the picture that you want, rather than creating the old story? And let him answer. Same as your kids, like ask them, okay, so if you were like had a really good relationship with Poppy, or whatever you call him, what sort of conversations would you like to have? And get them their picture and say, well, okay, what do you think you can do to be able to create that? And it could be that they write a letter. It could be that they explain some things, but he has to see himself as different first. And it's going to take some time. Look, I've got the same thing going on with my mum. I didn't speak to my mum for 15 years because of the nastiness that comes out of her mouth. Every time that woman drinks, she just like turns nasty. And I had the same sort of thing going on, but I didn't want that, but I was still creating it because I didn't want it. And that's all I focused on. So whatever we focus on, we're going to create. So we have to change our focus and then focus on what we do want. And then look at it. I had to look at my life. Okay, well, what do I need to get out of my life so that I stop being that? So I didn't drink for nearly 2 years to find out the version of me that didn't like need to go and run away from shit, because people drink like that because the talk in their head is just so fucking loud, and let's just get rid of this and let's just have a drink and shut this thing up, will you please, and stop. So well, that was my experience anyway.
Yeah, no, good point. Anyway, yeah, that's good. I wrote down 2 things, what relationship do you want with your grandkids, and how can we do things differently?
Yeah, and let him come up with the ideas.
Yeah, I got plenty of ideas.
Yeah, but if they're all yours, then
Yeah.
like he will accept easier, and men especially, sorry guys, but if men have the ideas, they accept them faster than if a woman is trying to push them onto them.
It's a good point because I have definitely been like, how about we do this? How about we go camping? Can we go fishing? Da, 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 da. Like, yeah, but it would be good for him to think of it. It's interesting to hear your conversation about drinking because that is the opposite with my dad's. He blames himself for his dad being suicidal. You know,
Yeah.
when he gets drinking, that's when that kind of yarns start coming out. My mum attempted suicide a couple of years ago. Same thing when he gets on the piss, that's when them yarns start coming out and stuff. He's quite emotional, and it's like he lets the shield down, and then he's like, yeah, that's kind of when we only connect.
Yeah, yeah. Look, I've had friends like that before too, that you can only have a good conversation with them when they've had a few drinks. So you make
Yeah.
it a place so they have a few drinks, so then you can connect with them because they've got that shield up. But that's like that to me now is a low self-image.
Yep.
Like their opinion of themselves is so low that they need to do that.
Yeah, but nah, definitely two good points. I'll definitely try
So
with him.
yeah, and we have two self-images, the one internally and then the one that we project to the world. So this big gruff exterior is what is putting to the world. But you got to think about how was he treated as a child too. Like I know with my kids, if they cried, I would tell them off for crying because it made me feel like there was something, like I'd done something wrong and I was a bad mum. So it's like, stop crying, just stop fucking crying. Would you please just stop crying, sort of thing, rather than letting them have their emotions out. So like there's lots that we don't know, but remembering that whatever they're acting on now is always going to be an image, and that we were taught how to act in certain places when we were kids, and that sort of goes through with us unless we do invest in personal development and we develop that in a different way.
Yeah, no, that's really good because it's still giving them love and still guarding your energy and see what they come up with and see what they action.
And like Ho'oponopono to me is like I use it all the time. If I'm in a conversation with somebody and they're saying all this negative stuff, like there's been a few this morning, I'm just doing Ho'oponopono in my head, because if I just let it come out there, so it's like a rebuttal sort of thing. Like it's not that I have to shut down the conversation. It's just like I'm just leaving that with you, or I'm just going to clear it out of the whole energy system that I can, so that that doesn't keep coming to me. Because if I accept it and get involved in the drama, then I'm allowing that to keep coming to me. So it's just like, no, just gonna put that shield up, let you go there, and then I'll come in with an idea. And if you don't accept the idea, then okay, I'm done. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's where you guard yourself too. Don't try and keep pushing. So like, okay, cool, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool stuff.
Thanks, Polly.
Great question. Thank you. Anybody else? Okay, so it is Freedom Friday. If anybody wants to jump in and say anything, please do. Freedom Friday to me is at least put an hour aside to do something that brings you joy. Because when you're happy and when you're filling your cup, like I have this little thing that, okay, if you have a cup and a saucer, if you try and give out of your cup, then like you're always giving some of you. If you fill your cup and you give from the saucer, then you're always full, and everybody gets the leftovers, sort of not the leftovers, but the overflow, and then you're always staying full, and that is looking after you first. We're always wanting to give. We all feel great giving, but if we are giving to our own detriment, sometimes then we can resent it and it doesn't feel so nice. So, but if we're giving from the overflow, so always do something that fills your cup. Freedom Friday, take at least an hour, get out in nature, do something. If you're creative, do something with your hands, go for a walk. I don't know, if you need a good cry, do a big good cry. Whatever it is that you need, let it out, because our emotions are telling us what level of vibration that we're on. And if our emotions are negative, or if they're not as good as they could be, then it's just telling us, okay, we're on this vibration, and all we can attract is what is on there. So it's to get up. So when you change your physiology and go out and do different things and go for a walk and look off into the distance and maybe walk a bit faster and hold your head up and put your shoulders back, it can change everything. It changes your energy, and then you're instantly on a different vibration, and then you'll attract whatever's on it. And if you don't like it, what you attract, you go, okay, I'm on the wrong one. Let's get on a different one and figure out what that one is. All right. Nobody else has a question? Awesome. We are going to do this on the first Friday of every month moving forward. So you guys can come in and ask anything and we can have these. So yeah, thank you so much for being here. It was really, really nice. Thank you. And I will see you all when I see you. All right. Have a great day, everybody. Enjoy your day.
Thank
See
you. Bye.
See ya.